Welcome back to the All Ball Podcast, where it's all ball all the time. You are here with your hosts, Sean and Isaiah. As always, this is episode number 35, and today we're going to be doing some NBA trivia. Again, we are going to run it back because last time it went well for Isaiah, but not for me. I went a good 0 for 6. And then but before that, Isaiah, you're gonna talk about yesterday's game between the Bucks and the Nets, and yeah, go ahead and take it away, man.
All right, so from what I watched of the game, because I didn't tune in till about the third quarter, I believe. But man, from what I saw of that game, first, I want to say that was some really bad officiating on both sides. There were a lot of guys getting hacked and slapped around with no calls. And then there were times where guys would get the slightest contact and it was a call. We had a ridiculous flagrant 2 call on Chris Middleton for slapping Bruce Brown's arm on a layup. Just a lot of ridiculous calls. Didn't agree with that officiating for most of the game. But that was an exciting game nonetheless. It really felt like I rewound back to the summer and was watching that second round matchup all over again.
You know, I did see the ejection of Chris Middleton. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he hit him with his body or anything. He just pulled his arm down.
Exactly. And even like the way he pulled his arm down wasn't like a grip and yank down. It was more of a, I'm slapping at the ball, and because I hit your arm, my hand is still on your arm. He definitely wasn't pulling him down to the ground. You could tell by the way that he immediately turned around and tried to go and apologize to him and pat him on the back and stuff. He did not try to pull him down.
Right. I think the difference here is just because he was like running. Brown was running. If he's just going straight up and down, like if he grabbed an offensive rebound and went back up for it, and Middleton slapped him that hard on the arm like that, there's no way that's just a normal foul. But just because he has so much momentum, that's probably why he got the flagrants, the double flagrant or whatever.
Yeah, it just made it look worse than it actually was based on Chris Middleton's intent. And that's another thing. I could have sworn that the whole basis for what becomes a flagrant, like there has to be intent, wind up, follow through. There was no wind up, there was no intent, and there was barely any follow through. So I don't see how that is a flagrant 1, let alone a flagrant 2 immediate ejection. But
yeah, flagrant.
Maybe it was for the better because Chris Middleton was playing pretty bad that game.
But yeah, flagrant 2 is pretty wild. I mean, even flagrant 1 would have been like not the right call, but just flagrant 2 is kind of mind blowing because it's just normal basketball contact.
Exactly, like that is the basic foul that happens on layups almost all the time. The speed just makes it seem worse, and then on top of the speed, the super slow-mo playback makes the extra contact on the arm, or the extended contact on the arm, seem longer than it really was.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's some embellishment there from Bobby Brown to try to get the call. I know I've done that a couple of times while playing. I get slapped on the wrist in fast break, and it act like I just got tackled by JJ Watt or something.
Oh, you called him Bobby Brown.
Oh! Wait, who was it? It was Brown.
Bruce Brown.
Bruce. Yeah, Bruce Brown. Who's Bobby Brown?
He was like a bench nobody for the most part.
Oh, he played for the Rockets. Yeah. Okay, well, different B Brown, I guess you could say. Bruce Brown.
But last things I want to touch on in that game before we just move on to the guess that player. Giannis is the MVP. He's the best player in the league. It's it's just you can't debate it after that game last night. What are two things that Giannis has struggled with for his whole career? Shooting threes and shooting free throws.
Mm-hmm.
He sends the game to OT on a step back three, and then he wins the game on two free throws.
Yeah, man. I mean, he's definitely up there, with Jokic and Embiid. But I mean, I think it's very close between all three of them.
Really, the way that I see it, as good as Jokic has been this whole season, he's definitely started to slow down a little bit more towards the end. Like he's definitely still had his crazy games, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But first and foremost, the team is doing worse. Like they were kind of pushing their way up into the standings a little bit more at first, but now they've
Mm-hmm.
kind of stagnated at around that 6th seed. And the last time a 6th seed won MVP, it was a dude averaging a triple double.
Westbrook.
So, so I don't see how we can just overlook the 6th seed and give it to Jokic again when he's not averaging a triple double. He's close, but he's not there.
Yeah, I think I just want to see how they finish out the season, and then I'll decide. I don't want to discredit these last 5 or 6 games that they have to play, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see at the end of that. But are you ready for this trivia, man?
All right, man, let's get into it.
All right, so you want to go? You want to give your player first, or I give mine?
Uh, you know what? Since I won last time, I will guess first.
Okay. All right. So my first player. I am on my third team within my 4-year career. I injured a player in the East this year. I am known as a dirty player.
Dang. Oh man, is that Grayson Allen?
That is Grayson
Yeah.
Allen.
You see,
Yeah,
the three teams thing threw me off because I forgot that he was on the Jazz. But
yeah. I
you
always forget
see,
that too.
yeah, you said injured a player and dirty player. I was like, wait a second. Because when you said three teams in 4-year career, even though it's not his fourth year, for some reason, I started thinking about Lonzo.
Hmm.
And so because of that, the Bulls were on my mind already. So you said injured. I was like, wait, Caruso got injured on a dirty
Yeah,
player.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Grayson Allen injuring Caruso. But yeah, I always forget that he's on the Jazz too. I always remember Memphis and obviously now the Bucks. But yeah, the Jazz. Just I always forget that he was drafted by the Jazz.
Yeah, because he didn't do very much while he was there.
No, 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 definitely not. But okay, so you got the first one right.
All right, it's 1-0 right now. Let's see if you can get your first one.
All right.
This player is a one-time All-Star. He has one career triple double. His first jersey number in the league was number 1, and he was a number 2 pick.
Number two pick. One time. You said one time All Star.
Mm-hmm.
Number two pick. Who has been a one time All Star? So I have someone in mind, but I'm
Okay.
not 100% sure if it's them because I don't know where he was drafted.
Okay.
Um, but I do believe he's been a one time All Star.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's throwing me off is where he was drafted.
Okay.
Trying to think of other players that were drafted really high. Number two, no, because Wiggins was drafted first overall.
Mm-hmm. He
So it's
was.
definitely not Wiggins. He's one time All Star, not Wiggins though. It, man, who is it gonna be? Trying to think of the last current All Stars. I is it John Morant?
That is incorrect.
Wait, John Morant's been to how many All Stars? This is his first All
Yeah,
Star game.
this is his first All Star, but that's the thing. You assumed that it was somebody who's an All Star this year.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was trying to think so far back, and I mean, I really couldn't find anyone. I was thinking maybe Mike Conley too. Mike Conley was the guy that I was originally going to go with.
I don't think. Oh wait, he was All Star last year. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
because he got in as an injury reserve. Which,
hmm
funny enough, is how this player got in. The answer was D'Angelo Russell.
I forgot that he even made an All Star game.
Man, how could you forget that iconic Nets season, man, where they actually made the playoffs?
You know, I don't know. That's a that's a good question. I was thinking Mike Conley. That's what I said though. I really didn't remember, who the second overall pick was that you were talking about. I think that's what really kind of tricked me.
Yeah, you see, he was the second pick behind Cat.
Okay. All right. Well, already starting off bad. If I go for 10, nah, I
For
can't go
10, bro.
over
You
10.
can't go. I have some really easy ones in here. There's no way you're going over 10.
Okay. All right. This is my second one. I started my career with the Bulls. I am a one-time champion. In 2019, I was traded to the Wizards with a former number 2 overall pick.
Whew, that's a tough one. Okay. Okay. Started career with the Bulls and got traded to the Wizards. Oh man, who even has been on the Wizards? Oh man.
I'll give you another hint to help you out a little bit. He is taller than 6'8".
Okay. Okay. So my guess is gonna be Bobby Portis.
It is Bobby Portis.
Okay, you see, and that's kind of funny because
Portis?
Bobby Portis was actually one of my players. So now,
Really?
now I need to get another player.
I had a feeling we were gonna pick at least one of the same players.
Yeah, just because we're not going too deep into the nobody, so there's only
Yeah,
a large enough pool for so many names before we can get some crossover. But
yeah,
that got me because I didn't want to believe that we picked Bobby Portis of all people as the same player. But then I remember looking at his teams because I was trying to check his shooting for one of his hints.
yeah.
And I sure enough, yep, I saw that Bulls Wizards
hmm
season. Is like, okay, all right.
Yeah. I was gonna say I have the widest eyes in the league, but I feel like that was dead giveaway.
Oh yeah, no. The only person giving him a run for his money is Tomas Satoransky, and that's it.
Or or Eric Gordon when he gets fouled.
If anything, his eyes get smaller when he gets fouled. He makes the face.
Okay, so all right, let's see if I can get this one.
Okay, all right. This player spent some time in Houston before Harden was on the team. You can usually find him standing in the lane, and he peaked later in his career than the average player.
Hmm. Wow, that's a long time ago. Before Harden
Yeah,
was here.
yeah.
So this dude has to be old.
Yep, he's pretty old.
Standing in the lane. So if he's standing in the lane, he's more than likely not a guard because I was thinking Kyle Lowry.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Okay, I know. I'm trying to think of all the older players that are still in the league, like Rudy Gay. Did Rudy Gay even play for us? Like, did he play at all?
I don't believe he's
I
played for us.
I think we drafted him, but I know we drafted him, but I don't think we actually played him.
Yeah, because I
Uh,
remember correctly, didn't he actually like start his career in Toronto or something?
uh, that I'm not sure of.
Okay.
What other players are in the league that played with us? In Houston before Harden.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Trying to think of all the older big men in the league. Oh, man, this one's a little tough. I feel like it's gonna be really like a common player, but I mean, I just have to go with Kyle Lowry. I'm not sure.
And Kyle Lowry is
Let's
correct. It's
go.
Kyle
Let's
Lowry.
go.
Let's first point. Kyle Lowry is correct. You see, I worded that standing in the lane one really vaguely in order
Yeah.
in order to kind of throw you off a little bit. But everybody who knows Kyle Lowry knows that he's standing in the lane to take charges.
Let's go. I wanted to believe it was a bigger person just because of, like you said, how you try to trick me. But that was the only player that I could think that was still in the league that's old and played for the Rockets before Harden.
Mm-hmm. And then you got to think about that peaked later in his career than most people.
That's true also. I forgot about that. I wasn't even thinking about that anymore. Um
Like, dang, he was
maybe
in
that
Houston
actually, you know
before
what?
Harden. He's old.
Yeah, maybe that's why I was thinking Rudy Gay because Rudy Gay did kind of peak up again back in around now. He's doing a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, so my first official point. Let's go. All right. So my next player. I have played all 4 of my years with the team that drafted me. I was a second round pick. I missed most of last year and have never averaged more than 10 points in my career.
Oh my goodness, this that was the worst collection of hints in terms of me knowing who the player because you're a second round pick. You've never averaged more than 10 points and you miss most of last season.
I will say this. When he's healthy, he is a starter.
Okay, when he's healthy, he's a starter.
Hmm.
When he's healthy, he's a starter. Dang, okay. If they've been in the league for 4 years, oh man, I'm getting exposed here. But I'm gonna have to do some quick mental math on.
No, these clues are a little hard. I will say that.
Oh
I'll
no,
even.
I was saying I'm getting exposed because I'm gonna have to sit here and think about okay, what year would they have been drafted if it's
Oh,
their
okay.
fourth year?
Oh,
Okay. It's the 21-22 season. So if they were drafted, would that be 20? Dang, is that 18 or 17? Uh,
I'll even say that you can cancel out the top 8 teams in the West. So the bottom, last 7 in the West are good, and all of the East is good.
okay, wait. So the bottom teams are canceled out.
No, no, the top
Oh,
teams in the
the
West,
top
8 teams.
team.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
just to give you, a couple of teams that aren't in the running for this player.
Man, oh, this is so tough because, oh man, okay. When he's healthy, he is a starter.
Hmm. Has never averaged more than 10 points in his career. Played
Never.
all 4 of the years with the team that drafted him and was a second round pick.
Has this guy been in the league for 4 years, or is he older, or is he younger than that? Hold on. Oh man, I don't know how old this guy is, and I don't, and then the never average more than 10 points. Is like that's what's really killing me, because you're a starter, but you've never averaged more than 10.
Yes.
Like you're really just out there running up and down the court. Like, that is all you're doing. Dang, and then they've been on the same team for their whole
With the team that
career.
drafted him.
The team that drafted them. This, man. Okay. Let me sit here. Let me focus.
Go
No,
for it, man.
no, I'm really, this is really killing me, man. It's a second round pick, so I can't even vividly remember who this was that got drafted. Uh, Never averaged more than 10 and
But a
second,
starter.
but a starter, and he's a second round pick. And he's been on the same team
And missed most of last year.
and missed most of last year. Let me see. Would that have been somebody on the Spurs? Because, the Spurs do have a lot of players that were drafted there that just stayed. Okay, no, it can't be, no. Okay, all right. I'm taking up too much time here.
All right.
So I'm gonna just I'm gonna
Take a
have to
guess.
I'm gonna shoot a random shot in the dark, and I'm gonna say Lonnie Walker the fourth is the player. I know that's not right, but
No, it is not right.
I
The correct answer is Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. Dang.
Yes.
Yeah, I was not thinking about
Just
Mitchell
running around the
Robinson.
court. Yeah, that's the clues weren't the best, but I was trying to make that one a little bit harder. But
Yeah, that was a tough one. I was not even thinking about New York either.
yeah, I didn't want to cancel out the whole West, but yeah, man, it's Mitchell Robinson.
All right, all right. Okay, for your next one.
Okay.
This is the best Rockets player to never wear a Rockets jersey. It's a and he's a young guy on a young team in the Western Conference.
The best player to wear a Rockets jersey,
No, the best Rockets player to never wear a Rockets jersey.
and he's a young player in the West?
Yeah, he's a young player in the West.
That's throwing me off big time. Um, okay, well, that definitely has to mean like we drafted him and we just traded him away. Um, I mean, who? Man, it's like we've really had no good picks within the last years before Jalen this past draft class.
Yeah,
So
that's true. That's true.
who's never put on the jersey, but we've drafted him? If he's young, that has to be within like the last 4 years. Okay, this past was Jalen. No, obviously none of those guys because they all played with us before. That was Kenyon and did we have a draft? No, we didn't. We didn't have a first round pick. Who you okay? So now my mind has transitioned to an overseas player
Hmm.
that we have on like a European deal. One of those guys,
Okay,
but I don't think you do that because he's not in the league. So
you're right
no, he's
there.
not. You're right because yeah, you said the West. I don't know why I even
Yeah,
thought of that. Oh, D'Anthony Melton.
that is not correct. First of all, D'Anthony Melton has actually worn a Rockets jersey. He has played.
He did play with us.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I don't even remember that.
You see, I'm not sure like what minutes he actually played in terms of regular season, but he definitely wore a Rockets summer league jersey. Eh, But
Oh.
I mean, that counts to me. That counts to me. But
Okay.
here's the thing. It was supposed to be a callback to a game that we watched earlier this season where a certain player on the other team was playing for us.
Oh my god, Darius Baisley.
Yeah. It was Darius Baisley.
Okay, that threw me off. I actually thought that you meant he actually played for us.
It's like, no, it's really a player who has never worn a Rockets jersey.
Actually, D'Anthony Melton never played for us.
What?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, other than the summer league, he
Okay.
played in
Okay. Yeah, you see,
Phoenix.
yeah, no, I knew that he at least played in the summer league. I knew I
Yeah.
wasn't tripping there. I was like, because
Okay.
I've definitely seen him in some kind of Rockets jersey. Yeah, that's why.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, that threw me off. I thought you had literally meant, um, he played for our team. He was on our franchise.
But you know what? I'll give you half a point for getting D'Anthony Melton because he technically fits the criteria.
Yeah.
That like that's not wrong based on the hints you were given.
The fact that there are two people out there like that, that's okay. My next player. I am known as a journeyman. I have over 15 years of experience in the NBA. I had one of the worst performances in a game 7 of conference final history.
Oh boy. I feel like I don't even need to think about this one. I'm gonna just say it, and if I'm wrong, I'm gonna feel really stupid. But I'm going to say that the answer is Trevor Ariza.
Yes, Trevor
Yeah.
Ariza. That man had the most sorry, pitiful performances in game 7. I'll never forgive him for that.
Yeah, it's like you were kind of giving it to me with the journeyman. He's old, but then you said one of the worst performances in a game 7, and that could have been a lot of people. But then you said conference finals specifically. I was like, oh
Mhm.
yeah, I know exactly what conference finals we're talking about
Yeah.
now because we
Yep.
had the worst performance as a team in conference finals history.
The fact that that man wanted an apology just to re-sign with us, you know what? Nah, you deserve to go play for someone else.
Exactly. You can walk. You can walk.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Oh
that was a
man.
little bit of an easier one, but
Yeah. Yeah. That one was a nice, simple, fun one.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And this next one, this it shouldn't be too difficult. There's not a lot of people that fit this first criteria,
Okay.
but this is a second generation NBA player. He plays a different position than his dad played, but it's a similar position. And while they may not have the same play style, they do have something in common.
Okay. If I'm thinking of second generation, like on the top of my head, Gary Payton the second,
Mm-hmm.
Kenyon Martin Jr.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you might do that because that's my favorite player. So, um, but no, is Gary Payton the second classified as a forward? Because I know obviously Gary Payton was a guard.
No, Gary Payton II is a shooting guard.
Yeah. So then it's not them. I mean, unless are you going like point guard to shooting guard or like guard forward?
I mean, that is what I was thinking. I was thinking like specific point guard, shooting guard.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Second generation. Then okay, then it might even be the Currys. Hmm. But no, I have to go Gary Payton the second.
And you see, I was thinking about picking him, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not right. The
Okay,
correct
who?
answer actually was KJ Martin.
Oh my God, you did to me my favorite player.
Yes, that's exactly why I picked him.
Man.
You see, and it's like they're both forwards, you see, because the way the modern NBA is now, KJ Martin has played a little bit of power forward, but
Yeah.
so that's a thing. And then obviously they're both athletic guys, which is what they have in
Right.
common.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't think you would do that. I thought that would be too easy for me, but I thought you.
You see.
I
And
outsmarted myself.
that's why I kept the hints vague enough. So it's like I don't want anything that makes it obvious that it's KJ Martin, but I want a hint
Yeah.
that it could be, but still
Yeah.
leave it on the table. Because like you said with the hints, the Currys fit, Gary Payton does fit. There's just it's just the right answer was KJ
Yeah.
Martin.
And I'm sure there's so many other players that fit too. I just couldn't think of any right now other than those three.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, on to my next. I was a second round pick. I'm considered a glue guy. I am also a 3-time champion.
Yeah, that's Draymond Green.
Yes, sir. That is
Yeah,
Draymond Green. Another easier one.
yeah. I really, you said second round pick, and I was already kind of flowing in my mind. I was like, okay, prominent second round picks. I'm thinking Jokic and Draymond already. And then you
Hmm.
said glue guy, and I was like, okay, well, that's not Jokic, so it's
Yeah.
just Draymond.
Yep. Draymond Green. That was back to back easy ones for you.
Yeah, yeah,
I felt like I had to after that Mitchell Robinson one.
yeah. Because that Mitchell Robinson one really killed me. Couldn't even begin to think about it. But
All
this
right.
next one, this one should be a pretty solid one. This player is a powerhouse dunker who plays with an elite playmaker. And there's another player in the league who has a similar name, and people have confusingly thought that they were related, but they are not.
So powerhouse dunker, elite playmaker, that, and then the similar name. I'm gonna say Aaron Gordon.
And that is not correct.
Bro, what?
You see that that's why I've made it a point to say that people thought they were related. I don't think
Okay.
anybody has ever said anything, at least to my knowledge, about Aaron and Eric Gordon thinking they're related.
Well,
The
before you say who it is, let me just I won't get the point, but let me just try to think of who else that even because I did try to guess it really fast, thinking I immediately had an answer.
okay,
Um, who's an elite playmaker? Just, I mean,
but you know what? Actually, will give you the point on that one because when I was writing up the hints for this player,
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Gordon did come to mind. I was like, wait, you know, that could be Aaron Gordon if you think about it a certain way. So I will give you the point for that one, just like on the D'Anthony Melton one.
Okay. So I have one real point and two points.
Yeah, two like half kind of got it points.
And I think we're on 5, and you've had all of them right except Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah.
So 4 points for you. Oh man, then who? Okay, who's the right answer then?
The right answer is Miles Bridges. And it's
Miles. Mikal Bridges.
yeah,
Yes.
because they were drafted in the same draft, and a lot of people were thinking M. Bridges, are they related? Are they cousins,
Yeah.
brothers? Because even I fell into that trap before I actually knew who they were, and I was like, "Oh snap, two M. Bridges."
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that also one time. Uh, yeah. I guess I just really didn't think of LaMelo. I don't know. But all right. For my next one, I am a backup forward in the West. I started my career in Atlanta. In college, I once explained to a reporter how a part of basketball works.
That's Tarian Prince.
Yes.
So you jump up and
Yeah.
you grab the ball
With both
with
hands.
both hands and you come down. And that's
And
how
that's a
you grab
rebound.
a rebound. Oh, you see,
Yes.
you would have really stumped me if it wasn't for the last part.
I had it written down as explains to a reporter how rebounds work, but I was like, man, it's way too obvious. Let me just at least say how a part of basketball works.
Oh man, yeah, that's a classic video right there. For
Mm-hmm.
any basketball fan, they've seen that video and it's funny every time.
Yeah,
Oh
I think my next one should stump you, but yeah. So I guess it is 3 easier ones,
yeah.
but hopefully at least that 2 out of my last 4 will get you.
Okay. All right, so let's move to your next one.
All right.
This player was drafted to be a shooter and had a slow shooting start to his career, but has turned it around as of the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
He's surprisingly athletic despite being a shooter, and he was smacked by Michael Jordan.
Oh man, this dude's probably old then. Smacked by Michael Jordan?
Yep.
Oh man. I mean, shooters, Mike by Michael Jordan. How old do you have to be? Like, I don't think Mike Jordan is coming out in the street clothes and just smacking people. I mean, you're stumping me, but I still want to try to take a guess at least.
Okay.
Um, oh man. Who's an elite shooter who's older? I mean, there's no way it's Curry because Curry's. I mean, no, Curry didn't even play with him. This dude has to be like 30, 38 or something. I mean, is it Braun? I mean, I don't know, man.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you one thing where you started messing up was you forgot that the first part of that was that he was drafted as a shooter but had a bad shooting start. So and you
Oh
were
well,
thinking of
obviously it wasn't
people who
Braun.
are good shooters, yeah, and people who were drafted as shooters in the first place.
Yeah.
But another critical error that you made was that you assumed that Michael Jordan isn't slapping people in street clothes because
Was he
at,
strapping you?
Actually, I want to say I can't remember if it was last season or 2 seasons ago, but definitely within the past couple of seasons, Michael Jordan, as owner of the Hornets, slapped Malik Monk on the back of the head for making a stupid move on the court.
I was just Will Smith and people out here. And yeah, I
The answer was
don't remember
Malik
seeing that
Monk.
video.
Oh man, you haven't seen that?
No, I don't think so.
Oh man, I've seen that video so many times on Instagram, and just like the Torian Prince video, that is funny every time.
Yeah, they Sports Center puts that video up at least like once every 2 months or so. But I've never seen Malik Monk get hit by Jordan before.
Man,
I'll definitely have to go watch that.
oh yeah, gotta go watch that.
But all right. So my next player, I have played for 2 teams in my 5-year career. I shoot with my left hand. I have competed in a 3-point contest within the last 3 years.
Okay, what was the first one again?
The first one was I have played for 2 teams in my 5-year career.
2 teams, 5-year career,
Mm-hmm.
left-handed player, and 3-point contest
Within the last 3 years.
within the last 3 years. Okay. First, I need to think about left-handed players. Hold on, because is it who I think it is? Because I know this guy's left-handed. Know he was in the 3-point contest, but has he been on 3 teams? Hmm. No, I don't think he has, because if I remember, yeah, no, okay. Okay, so the first player I was thinking, I'm gonna just say it to cross it out. I was thinking Luke Kennard, but he's actually only been on 2 teams, so that would have threw me off. But
Wait. Okay, so let me read you the thing I said. I said I have played for 2 teams in my 5-year career.
okay, never mind. So the answer is Luke Kennard.
Yes, it is Luke
Okay,
Kennard.
okay. You see, I thought you said 3 teams. That
No,
okay.
no, I said I have competed in a 3-point contest within the last 3 years.
Yeah, you see, that's what all those threes, and it was just everything was turning into a three.
Yeah. Yes, so the answer is Luke Kennard. I didn't want to let you get the hints wrong, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But okay, on to the next.
Okay, all right. This one's fun. So this is a really strong guy with underrated playmaking skills. He's not a very vertical player, but he's a really good team player.
I feel like you're gonna troll me. And it's some big man who's tried to play make before, and LP Shingun.
No,
It's probably Jokic or something.
the answer is Steven Adams.
I've really never thought of him as a real
You see, and
I
that
know he's a good playmaker, but the team thing guy, I don't know. That threw me off.
you see, and that's the thing. He really is an ultimate team player, because if you think back to his time with Westbrook, this man would give up his own rebounds to let Westbrook grab them. He would specifically box out the big man so that Westbrook could grab the rebound instead.
Yeah, that is pretty team player right there. Well, not even team. That's just helping another dude out.
But then, also like he really is, he does all the dirty work, he sets real solid screens.
Yeah, those screens are some pretty hard screens.
Yeah, those screens could give somebody a concussion.
I probably should have thought more about the strong thing because Alp is
Mhm.
more of a finesse guy, anyways.
Yeah, he's not really strong. That's why I made it a point to say he's a big, strong guy.
Hmm.
Because I was like, let me make it a little bit easier. Because actually, in what I have written down, I didn't write strong, but I was like, let me make this a little bit easier since the playmaking thing will kind of throw you off if you haven't been keeping up with Steven Adams.
Yeah, I was thinking like playmaking is like Jokic or LP.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. It's that Steven Adams is actually averaging 3 assists, which for a big man is pretty solid.
Yeah.
And then if you watch him play, like you'll see that his passing has really gotten better throughout the
Hmm.
course of not long career, but this short stint from I want to say his last couple of years in OKC to now. Yeah, he's really improved as a passer a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, you got me there too. You stumped me on that one. But all right, on to my next. I went undrafted. I won a championship within the last 6 years. I did not start a single game until my third year in the league.
Ooh, hold on. Go through them again. Go through them again. Let me make sure I actually get the hints right this time.
I went undrafted.
Okay, went undrafted.
I won a championship within the last 6 years.
Championship within the last 6 years.
I did not start a single game until my third year in the league.
I'm gonna take a wild guess here.
Okay.
I'm going to say that the answer is Fred Van Vliet.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
And that's unfortunate because that's another player that I had on my list. I gotta take off.
It's just so unfortunate it's back to back for you two that I put them first. I'm just going down my list.
Man, first Bobby and now Fred.
Yeah.
Man,
Fred definitely has to be the most notable player on this list for me, though. Well, Draymond's pretty close.
yeah. I think Draymond's probably more notable than Fred, but Fred is definitely second.
Mm, yeah. All right. Well, since this is your eighth one, then I guess you would have to. Are you going to try to find two more?
Well, I mean, I still have my eighth player, and then I already found my 9 and 10 already. It's just a matter of coming up with the hints. But
Okay.
yeah,
All
I
right.
can
Cool.
do that quickly. But I'll go ahead and do this eighth player.
Okay.
This player was part of an underwhelming big three that didn't get along. For years, he was a mediocre scorer, and now he's changed his role in the league for the better.
A mediocre big three. Um,
An underwhelming big three
Underwhelming.
and a mediocre scorer.
Mediocre score. And then you said he changed his career for the better?
Yes.
The first name that came to my head was Dwight Howard, but there was no big three in Houston.
Yeah, no,
Um,
because it was just him and Harden. So yeah.
yeah, big three, an underwhelming big three too. At that,
Yes. Underwhelming
like
big
that's
three.
already not the Splash Bros or the the big three in Golden State.
Yeah, no.
It's not the it's not LeBron. Wade and Bosh are out, so that definitely wasn't underwhelming either.
Yeah, wasn't underwhelming, and LeBron was definitely not a mediocre scorer.
Yeah. Mediocre score, man. Trying to think of all these big threes, and it's. Mm. Okay, so now I'm thinking about maybe the Pacers' big three, but do you even consider that a big three? It's more just like
Yeah,
a mediocre four.
yeah. More importantly, to to be an underwhelming big three, you have to have expectations in the
Yeah.
first place.
um.
But I will repeat what I said in the first hint because there's a piece of that you're missing.
Okay.
An underwhelming big three that didn't get along.
Didn't get along. Okay. Didn't get along. Mediocre score. Changed his career for the better. See, that's why I was thinking about Dwight, because Dwight and Harden didn't get along.
Mm-hmm.
Um. Man, this one's really getting to me. Mediocre three that didn't get along. You know what? I mean, I really have no clue. So I'm just gonna have to say like, no, I that'd be a terrible guess. That's not even right. I was gonna say Kemba Walker, but that'd be terrible.
Yeah, no.
Um, man, I'm taking way too long on this. I'm just gonna have to say like Ben Simmons.
And that is incorrect. The
Okay.
correct answer was Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, the big three in Minnesota.
Yes.
Yeah, Ben Simmons just came to me just because like what happened at the end. The big three, Toby, Embiid, and Simmons, they were underwhelming. Didn't get along. He's a very underwhelming scorer.
Yeah, he's a very, very mediocre scorer. But the thing that makes it not him is the fact that, well, he hasn't necessarily changed his role for the better because he
Is
hasn't played
true.
yet.
That is true. That I forgot about. All right. Down to the last two. I had my breakout year in the 2016-2017 season. I have played on a different team each of the last 4 years. After my first 2 years in the league, I played overseas for 2 seasons.
Ooh, wait. Okay, hold on. Go through those again.
I had my breakout year in the 2016-2017 season.
Okay,
I have played on a different team each of the last 4 years. After my first 2 years in the league, I played overseas for 2 seasons.
man. Okay, that last hint really isn't doing much for me. Yeah, I really don't remember who would have gone overseas and then came back.
Yeah, I didn't even know this until I looked up this person.
Oh, yeah, so definitely don't know that. Okay, breakout season in 2016, 20. See, that's the thing about that. Because that means this player would have to been drafted years before that season in order to spend 2 years here, go overseas for 2 years, and then come back and break out in that season. Oh man. Who who would have been drafted? Dang, that okay. They would have been drafted in like 2011 and earlier. I don't know if he went overseas, but this is definitely somebody who was drafted years before 16, 17. And
Mm-hmm.
if I remember correctly, that's around the time that he had his breakout season. So I'm going to say it's Isaiah Thomas.
No, it's not
Mm.
Isaiah Thomas. The correct answer is Hassan Whiteside.
Hassan Whiteside. Oh, no. Never would have guessed that.
Yep, Hassan Whiteside.
Hassan definitely didn't know that he went overseas.
Yeah, neither did I. I remember he had that like breakout one year that he did really well.
Yeah, in Miami, yeah, where
Yeah.
he was getting triple doubles with blocks.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and I was hoping that the playing on four teams each of the last 4 years was gonna tell you that he's kind of a bum now, but
yeah, you see, and that's why Isaiah Thomas is a good guess.
yeah. Yeah. All right. So you're second to last.
Okay, this player was a really good shot blocker as an undersized power forward. He played in Houston to start his career and then came back later on to have a much more important role. And
Mm.
despite having a reputation as a shooter, he definitely lays a lot of bricks.
mm. I mean, the first thing that came to mind was Trevor Ariza like that, but obviously it's not Trevor Ariza because I already said that, and
Yeah, I would have
you know
noted it.
he was more of a small forward anyways
Yeah.
during his time over
It
here.
definitely wasn't a shot blocker either.
Yeah, shot blocker in Houston that left, came back, played more of a prominent role. PJ Tucker didn't start here, did he? No.
And PJ Tucker is definitely not a shot
Yeah.
blocker.
Well, I was thinking like undersized for power forward, and I was like, kind of fits the criteria, but undersized for power forward. So he has to be at least in the league for maybe at least 5 or 6 years. Um, Undersized power forward played a prominent role when he came back here. Trying to think of all the power forwards that we've had in our last couple recent years. I don't think this is the guy, but no, because this guy doesn't even play no more. I don't think. I was gonna say Josh Smith, but he don't play no more.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna count that since he is out of the
Yeah.
league. So
Mm. Power forward that played a more prominent role. Man, this one is getting to me again. Oh, Robert Covington.
and that's correct.
Yeah, I forgot that he basically he started here
Yep.
and was, basically nothing.
Yeah, played
went
7 games here.
went to Philly and then got better. But yeah, so Robert Covington. I was gonna pick Robert Covington as one of the people that I was gonna do, but I was like, nah, I really couldn't think of like anything interesting for him.
You see, that's the thing. That's why it was important to note that he was a good shot blocker as an undersized power forward here, because
Mm-hmm.
Robert Covington definitely did block a lot of shots
Yeah,
here.
yeah, especially I mean, he really only did play that one season with us, so well, I mean the one that he came back.
Mhm.
But all right, on to my last player. I was drafted by a team in California.
Okay.
I'm currently on my fifth team. I was compared to Ray Allen coming out of the draft.
Hmm. Okay. Compared to Ray Allen, so this person is a shooter. They were drafted by a California team.
Hmm.
And you said they're on their fifth team?
Yes,
Fifth team, okay. On their fifth team, shooter drafted by a California team.
correct.
This is really, it's a tough one. This is a tough one. Okay. Dang, you see, I know a lot of players drafted by the Lakers. So if it was somebody on there, I probably would have just known it off the top of my head. So I don't think that it's somebody from the Lakers. If it's somebody drafted by the Clippers, that's tough. If it's somebody drafted by the Kings, I might be able to figure it out. And if it's somebody drafted by the Warriors, that's also pretty tough because they've had a lot of low draft picks these past few seasons.
I will say it was not the Lakers that drafted him.
Yeah, no. That's why I went ahead and crossed them out because I said if it was somebody
Okay.
from the Lakers, I would have known because
Yeah.
I can name a lot of the top Lakers draft picks, and most of those guys haven't even been on 5 teams. Oh, man. So that means they would have had to have been drafted by the Kings, the Warriors, or the Clippers. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. And then they've been on 5 teams, so it's somebody who sucks too. God. No. Okay. Okay. Thought about Harrison Barnes for a second, but he hasn't been on 5 teams. Who have the Clippers even drafted?
Brandon Boston Jr., but
Oh man. You know what? They drafted Shea, but I mean, no, because he hasn't been on 5 teams. Oh man. So, if for somebody who's trash and has been on 5 teams, I'm gonna assume they were drafted by the Kings because we all know the Kings suck at drafting. And that's really tough though, because at the same time, the Kings have drafted a bunch of big men. So who would they have drafted that would have been a shooter, or at least would have been compared to Ray Allen?
yes, that was his official player comp.
Official player comp was Ray Allen.
Well, not maybe not official, but all the websites I checked for him were, him, Ray Allen.
Yeah. Like that's the person who was most prominently compared
Mm.
to him.
Even like during the draft, they compared him to Ray Allen.
Man. Oh, this one, and this is a really good one. I'm really stuck here. No, I don't think. You know, this is a guy who was drafted by a California team.
Mm-hmm.
He's definitely been on 5 teams, but I don't know who his draft comp was. But I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say Kent Bazemore.
No, that is not It is not Ken Bazemore.
Yeah, I knew that was wrong. He just fits the criteria.
The correct answer is Ben McLemore.
Ben Mac. Yeah, no, he was drafted so long ago. Forgot he was drafted by the King.
Yes, this is his 10th season in the league.
Man,
Sounds crazy.
yeah, it's like that man is way older than you would think.
Yeah, and the fact that his player comp is Ray Allen, I thought you would have got it with that. I thought maybe you might have knew that little
See,
fact there, but
that's the thing that threw. Like, I was thinking of shooters, but thinking about the Kings, I think about how they kept drafting bigs while they had DeMarcus Cousins, and that's the main thing I can think of when I think of the Kings drafting. Is just them
yeah.
on that horrible stretch of, oh, let's draft Willie Cauley-Stein. Oh, let's just keep drafting big men when they have an elite big man.
Yeah, man. I was gonna put he was a flamethrower in Houston, but
Yeah, I probably would have got it with that.
yeah.
Man, no,
But all right, man.
that was a really good one. You really got me there.
All right, well, let's see if I can get this last one.
All right, last one, man. Let's make it count. This player goes by a nickname. He's an elite center despite being shorter than the average center. And he has one finals appearance to his name.
Elite center?
Yes.
I mean, Bam?
And yep. Probably shouldn't have said elite center.
Yeah, elite was like, well, that only narrows it down to maybe like 6.
It's like, there's not that many elite centers in the league.
Yeah.
See,
I mean, Jokic goes by.
This is what happens when I have to come up with hints in the middle of answering players.
Yeah. Like, I was thinking of the 6 centers, and who's been to like Jokic has been Aiden, but he don't go by a nickname.
Yeah, it doesn't go by nickname.
Cat has a nickname, but he ain't been there.
Ain't been to the finals. Joel Embiid ain't been to the finals and doesn't go by a nickname, and he's not undersized.
Gobert definitely isn't undersized, but it definitely hasn't been to a finals.
Yes.
So that only leaves Bam, who's like the last elite center in the league.
Yeah, I should have said.
I mean,
good. I should have said
AD, but he's not undersized, and he's not even elite.
Center.
Not even elite. But yeah, man. So I don't remember what the final score was. I think I got like 3 officially correct and maybe like 2 kind of so-so, right?
You got Robert Covington, you got Bam, you got,
and then I got
Kyle Lowry. Yeah,
so yeah. So the 3 official. Yeah, I hit my goal. What I wanted to do, which was 3 out of 10.
You did call that before we started recording. You said you wanted to at least shoot 3 out of 10, 30%.
Yeah. And I believe you got 7 out of 10. You missed Mitchell Robinson, Ben McLemore, and Hassan Whiteside.
Okay. Yeah, you see, considering who those 3 people are, I'm okay with that.
But yeah, man, that was great. I'm glad we got to run it back, and I'm glad I finally redeemed myself. I waited the whole week for this, and I'm glad I did.
You see, and then if you think about it, as a combined duo here, we're shooting 50%. So
yes,
that's all
dynamic
that matters.
Duo. Splash Bros. But all right, man. Was there anything you wanted to say before we go ahead and close this one out?
Quick one thing. Shout out to KPJ for the triple-double a couple nights
ago. Yes. Uh-huh. That was good. I liked watching that game. I'm glad that he's finally getting those assists. Because so people can stop saying that he's not a true point guard. He's not really a real true point guard, but he's developing. So give him some time.
Yeah, just at least give him a little bit of credit. He's trying.
Yeah.
It's like I've definitely been a little bit on his neck about his play, but when he plays well, I'll give him a shout out for playing well.
But all right, well, that's going to go ahead and end this episode. If you like the episode, go ahead and like and subscribe and comment down below. And especially if y'all want to hear us do more trivia or anything like that, quizzes, anything like that, comment down below if you want to hear more of that. But Isaiah, any last comments?
Don't forget to share the podcast with as many people as you can. Don't forget to interact with it, like the episodes, comment. Don't forget to also subscribe and tell the people that you share the podcast with to subscribe, because subscribers also help us get our videos out there more. And also in the comments, since we need you to interact down there a little bit too, tell us how many of these players you guys got right.
All right, we will see y'all next week.